we have some catching up to do.
Days later.
I'm going to start with a little mini book haul, which is basically just new releases that I'm very excited about. First, the one you saw in this video already. I finally got Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is probably my most anticipated book of the year. I love Emily Henry. Majority of her books are 5-star books for me, and this one I have high hopes for it being a 5-star book. And I think this one's a bit more rom-com-y than Happy Place was, so more like similar to Book Lovers. And it's about Daphne and Miles, who basically both break up with their exes and then find out that their exes are dating each other. They form a tenuous friendship and a plan, and if said plan also involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex, right? And I'm so excited. I've heard really great things about this already. I've honestly been in a bit of a reading slump, which we're gonna get to, so I'm really hoping Emily Henry can pull me out of that. I also picked up Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I am not done the Chestnut Springs series yet, but I couldn't resist because this is such a pretty book. And I love Elsie Silver. I love her writing. This is another small town cowboy romance, but it's a new series that takes place in the same world as Chestnut Springs. So the main character in this one is Willa's brother, who is the love interest in Heartless, the second book in Chestnut Springs. Are we following here? His name is Ford Grant, who is a billionaire, and he's basically told out of nowhere that he has a 12-year-old son. So he is suddenly a single dad, and he's desperately trying to keep his hands the hell off of his best friend's sister, Rosie. I know I'm gonna love this. I trust Elsie Silver. She can write romance tropes that I never thought I would like and make me like them. So I have high hopes for this. And then lastly, I got The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo is an auto-buy author for me. I love Six of Crows. I love Shadow and Bone. I love Hellbent and Ninth House. So, of course, I had to get this, and the black sprayed edges are so cool too. I love when books have sprayed edges, and like this whole book is just so aesthetic, so I needed to get it. I think this is a standalone adult fantasy. I honestly don't know that much about it, but it's about Lucia, who uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. And then she takes the notice of the disgraced secretary to Spain's king, and there's a war happening, I think, and she is determined to better her fortune, so she plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and hucksters, where the lines between magic, science, and fraud are never certain. I think this is something I'm just gonna have to go into and figure it out as I read, because that's kind of what I did with Ninth House, I feel like, and it took me a bit to get into it, but then I loved it, which brings me to my May TBR and current reading slump era. This was my TBR for the month of April, and do you want to know how many of these books I read? I haven't even finished one, okay? That's how bad. I think I literally read one book in April, and that has not happened to me for like maybe 2 years? More than that, probably. And I don't want to bore you with all the details, but I'm a very anxious person. It's been kind of a rough few weeks. So the problem is that I need to finish this book, and I loved this book, okay? I'm not done yet. I love this book. It's really good. Maybe my favorite in the Chestnut Springs series so far, but I stopped reading this 3 weeks ago, and then I never picked it up again, and now I don't really want to pick it up because I don't remember it. So I think I just need to finish this. So this is the first book that'll be on my May TBR, so that we can hopefully move on to Funny Story and pull me out of the reading slump. That's the goal here. So our May TBR will be Funny Story, Powerless, because I actually need to finish it. And then I'm thinking I'm gonna carry some books over from April. So I would like to read This Is How You Lose the Time War. It's a pretty short book and it sounds really interesting. Another book that was on my April TBR, which if you watched my April TBR video, was recommended by my mom. It's called A Song to Wake a Thousand Sorrows, I think, and it's one I have on my Kindle. But I would like to read this, not only because it's a fantasy and it sounds good and my mom really liked it, but also because I am going on vacation for a good portion of May, and I'm not gonna bring books with me. I'm only gonna bring my Kindle, so it makes the most sense. And then I also really want to read The 7-Year Slip. This has been high priority for me for a while because I've heard such good things about this, so this is also going right back on the TBR. I think I also would like to read Rule of the Aurora King, which this is the second book in the Trial of the Sun Queen series, and if you watched my 24-hour readathon, I read the first book in that one and I really enjoyed it. So I picked up the second book and I am eager to read this because the first book ended on kind of a cliffhanger, and I'm pretty sure the third and fourth book come out in June and September respectively, so I want to be ready for that. So this is also gonna go on the TBR. This is also like an adult fantasy series, and that's 6 books, and that's where I'm gonna stop because I was humbled in the month of April, and I think we need to ease back into it basically. Let me know what you're reading this month. I would love some recommendations. Let me know if you've ever been in this horrific of a reading slump and how you got out of it, because it kind of sucks. I feel like guilty for not reading, which is, I realize, I know, like logically I know that doesn't make sense. But it's also hard when I make content about books and I'm not reading books. Our goal now for the rest of this video, because it's just jam-packed with bookish things. Maybe finish Powerless. You guys can hold me accountable in this video and I can try and finish this book. I also really want to start my reading journal because I bought it and then I never did anything with it, and I think it could be a fun kind of therapeutic calming activity to do. My current TV obsession is 911, so I have been rewatching episodes of that until the new episode comes out tomorrow night, so I will probably work on my reading journal maybe and watch some 911. Let's try and do some little fun bookish things, fall in love with reading again. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see this, but I literally only finished one page and it is 11:20 and I need to go to bed. So I figured I'd just talk you through what I did so far, which is just this overall like books I read in 2022 layout. 2022, 2024. I almost wrote 2020 here. I don't know what's going on with me today, but I made this little bookshelf, which I'm sure you've seen on lots of reading journals, and I put 62 books on here because my goal for the year is 60, but I am ambitious, so maybe I'll read 2 more than my goal. Who knows? And I decided to do it color-coded by rating. So yellow is 5 stars, turquoise is 4 stars, orange is 3 stars, pink is 2 stars, and then blue is 1 star. And as you can see, we actually have majority 4-star reads so far this year, which is pretty great. And then I just added some little like decorations throughout. This is one of my pom bells up here. This is kind of like the cover page basically for my reading journal. I also want to do like a tracker for each month, and then I'm going to do a reading goals page and maybe a TBR/series tracker page, and then I want to do like a little monthly recap page, I think is the goal. But for now, this is what we have. I think I'm just gonna end this video here because I need to edit this and I need to go to bed. We did not finish Powerless. I'm working on it, but I'm pretty proud of this so far, and it was very therapeutic to work on. It was really fun, and I will keep you guys updated on the progress of my reading journal. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please leave a comment down below, like, subscribe. It would mean so much to me, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!